Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome back to the part 2 of our discussion with Ezeji, Dr. Kachi Nwoga, on the responsibilities of Ndi Ezeji. In the first episode, the part 1, he was giving us a little bit background on Iriji, as it originated in Mbaise, the much he knew or he knows. And at this part 2, he is going to continue sharing the information with us that he has. Dr. Kachi, are you there?
Thank you very much. I'm very much here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, Ndi Mbaise mgbe ihe, achọghọsị omenala info. Those leaders didn't want our custom to go. Moreover, they understood that this was a covenant between us and our God, and we couldn't fail in it. And so they took the pains to convince and explain to the church what it was. And the church, in their wisdom, understood that this was truly a covenant and a godly thing to do, to give thanks to God, appreciate God before you go and start devouring your harvest, to appreciate God who gave the harvest. So the church itself did it. So what the church did with these leaders was now to streamline it and say, to avoid people being confused about what is happening, let us now do it in one central day, August 15th. That August 15th happens to be a holiday of obligation in Mbaise, which is largely Catholic, by the way. So, which means actually August 15th is like a Sunday in the church calendar. So it was agreed. Yes, that day was agreed, August 15th. And guess what? The first of it was in 1955 when they made that agreement. This year is 70 years of August 15th.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So these gentlemen, yes, what a milestone. These gentlemen took the pains. They traveled to Owerri. Now, mind you, when I say travel to Owerri, it's not like today you can hop into your car in 30 minutes in Owerri. These people travel through by bicycle to Owerri. Yes. That's how much sacrifices our elders made. They traveled. Each of those journeys to Owerri was by bicycle. And this is the road to Owerri then that had the Ugwemekuku, very steep at that time. Ugu very steep at that time. You know, they've all been flattened now and you can just coast through it. These were you couldn't ride a bicycle up them. You have to come down and walk up those bicycles. This is the pains these our elders took to preserve our culture of Iriji. Yeah, Ndi Ezeji mgbe makana ahachigo obodo. Those were the Ezejis. These were the leaders of, because we didn't have the conventional Eze of today at that time. They were the community.
At that time, there is nothing like Eze and Eze.
Yes. Okay. So they were able to secure this and agree with the church, Bishop Willan, and August 15 became the central. From that point, this age now Abiasin no be had no a kangaroo.
Okay.
Remember that a kangaroo will be she obey this age now.
Okay.
You know, these ages had to be in all the marketplaces and they had halls. Now, what like almost even Chiconese on there. In fact, the one of Chiconese, some people, because in this age I'm not coming here, they're not really there. Some of them even as in Ndopra made them, you know, they gave it out to Ndopra. It's even an issue now. Ndopra were trying to claim it, and then but the owner or the son of the person, the owner of the original owner of the hall, who handed to this age, has come now and testified and say, please, this hall was given to this age. Because at every market, you will see this age. This age meet every market day, traditionally, for each locality. Right? So
it's let me ask you, are they trying to assume now that we have Ndeze? I know you will come to that. When you say they have halls, the Ndeze, their duties are the only for G, or are they trying to assume the old leadership roles before Ndeze are into the picture?
No, you don't. The administration of communities, as we know them today, is in the hands of Ndeze traditionally, as it is. That is how the government has arranged it today, and they create starting from the Warren chiefs, which transformed now into Eze Ainwereta, and they create what is called autonomous communities. So here, when there's ordinala, Hachigo obodo.
Okay.
Okay.
So that era gala. Even today.
Till tomorrow. Ndi Ezeji Mwikpala is basic. Onye na-akọ ala onye ma ngala no. So Mwikpala eji ekpo Ndi Ezeji. Unless mawala na adịghị ha kọrọla ya mbụ. Akọ ha anya ha n'ala Mwikpala on Ndi Ezeji. Because they not only administer the land, the judgment, they also ensure that there's a preservation of all those things planted, because their core is agriculture.
So ndị mmadụ na-eji aga gbotu ndị eze se nwere ikpe ala. Ndị eze ji ha kpọọ ndị eze eji si ha bịa kpee ikpe.
In many communities, ndị nwere ndị ọzọ nara ghọtara ghọtara onye isi eji ha kpọọ ndị eze eji egbu ụzọ sị unu agala ndị unu gacha ebe ha ma ọ gata ha unu bịachi.
I see. I see.
But you are at liberty to go even to the courts, even to the high courts.
Okay.
You are at liberty to use any type of arbitration.
The reason why I ask is that many people don't know this. Many people don't know this.
A lot of things are going. This is why we are struggling to make sure we can have, because if you have all these things, they help to keep the society in check.
Yes.
That is the truth. They promote peace and tranquil in the society. So a lot of people, a lot of communities don't even have any Ezeji at all now, because it's very difficult to meet up with the requirements, So, but let me just conclude that part. So Ezeji, Jahaneja Wabuni Shahya, Hebidozi, where we are na a kenguru, Nisha kenguru, Ejihabiani Shitutu. Sometimes you hear of 12 noon. Why?
Yes.
You give up to that 12 noon from this age to finish your rituals at a kenguru. And then you can begin to partake in your own. Because this, remember, we didn't have GSM like we have it today, no communication system, we didn't have videos to see. So it is just saying that on a rule 12 noon, the hemene chala, awa chala haje. Got your fund.
Yeah, okay.
So that is the reasoning behind all of those years. So now, back home still, that is the first one. That is the compulsory one. That is the ritual itself. Amaro kwamgbe say onye ọwụla meghere iji na ọ ga-adịghị mma. An injunction was placed on anybody who tried to thwart that ceremony.
Okay.
An injunction was also placed on any Mbaise person who fixes any other competing ceremony on August 15th. That's why we don't marry on. That's why we don't marry on August 15th. We don't do child dedication. We don't do any of those things.
And there's no burial. No burial.
No, we don't bury on August 15th. No, we don't.
Okay.
Yes, you can't have anything competing. You see, this is the highest ceremony in Mbaise.
Yes.
This is the highest obeisance worship to God that we are given. Symbol. You don't make it plus.
And these rules. It holds you.
So long as you are an Mbaise child, so long as you often Mbaise or live in Mbaise, these rules are sacrosanct.
Okay, good to know.
Do not partake of the new yam before this is done.
Yes.
You do not do the completing ceremony.
In diaspora, they have gotten that to the T. They prepare everything. They are ready for any other date, waiting for August 15th to go by. The homestead to declare the yam okay to go. Yeah.
Yes, I was one of those who observed that some people in diaspora were making an error, fixing it at a convenient weekend, even before the 15th. And I was one of those who raised the alarm and said, please correct yourself.
Oh, I've never seen any do
that. Some people even did that, yes. But if you do those things, you do out of ignorance, God will forgive you. But when you know and you do it, I do believe that the repercussions are there for all. And by the way, understand that we do this for the well-being of Mbaise. We are thanking God for the harvest, for having gone through survival. You know, by the time you plant and you have put everything you have into the farm, at some point you don't even have enough to eat anymore, because you have sold everything. So it is when you start harvesting, you start having again something to eat. So to survive all of that, survive the farming season and all that is something to thank God for. All right. Now to also now have a good harvest is something to thank God for. And then you're praying for the well-being of the land, for the success of Mbaise and her children in all our endeavors. That is the things we are praying for. And of course, asking God for the future, that in future keep us alive to go through this cycle again. So these are the things that we thank and all that. And these prayers are very important. So I will take you to another part of it, which is why to make these prayers work, there are certain things we do. You don't just get up on August 15th and start. No. We're in July now. In July, you make every effort. You make every effort to clear all quarrels, all arbitrations with a view to getting peace. Yes, because you see, like God said in the book of Matthew, he said you need to have a clean heart for God to take and accept your sacrifice. You get the point?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. I'm nodding.
Oh my.
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, I'm hearing you very well. Yes.
Okay.
Good. So I'll just tell you what. I'll just give you the biblical one. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 23 to 24, he said, therefore, if you're offering your gift at the altar and there remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to them. Then come and offer your gift. This is the principle we preach at Mbaise. You don't do Mbaise in animosity. God will not accept a sacrifice, which is why we try to make up. And that's why specifically from August 1st is the period of peace, tranquil. You don't go to police, you don't fight, you don't quarrel. No, it is that period that
and that is when people make peace.
We are peace.
People make peace. Those who ask for forgiveness and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is the same period that we do works of charity. At that point, we consider works of charity. So if it's those who do medical missions, that's the best time to do your medical missions, really. So this is the time that you are trying to also help that everybody is also in a good shape for the festival coming. This is when you give enough to even enjoy this festival with. Everybody has something to use at EDG. I want to get a read
yeah.
That's a hope.
Yeah. Yeah, when I hear our Christmas.
So these things are very important. This is very important.
Yeah. So
exactly.
So
our challenge now, some families, it's important to also know that our challenge in Ekenguru, there are families or communities that will still want to do another ceremonial Ewaji. Say, some people confuse that with the one of the central Ewaji. No, that is an optional. It's like an additional. It's optional. And that place in them when Ndi Ezeji, they can do it for them. And by the way, that part doesn't have to happen on the 15th.
Okay.
All the way to December, you can do that anytime.
But not before
your family. But not before the 15th. Not before 12 noon on the 15th.
Okay.
Yes. So so some people have seen those ceremonies, and some of them, and when Ndi Ezeji, maybe Sometimes I see the oldest man Gawaji. So some of them who saw that think it's okay. Well, I'm religious. I don't think this is that is not the central Ewaji that is compulsory and sacrosanct. That is the optional ceremonial one that happens after this ritual of 15th has happened.
Okay. So for the sake of time,
Yes.
let's move to the next question of we now
Yes.
see the Ndi Ezeji go into the barn at 12 noon to retrieve the yam and bless the yam and taste the yam and declare the yam, good for all. What else do they
Yes.
do? What else is apart from the praise?
Okay. Now remember that before that 15th, there's a Jabasheloba. Abasheloba
Tell
means
us
you
a
don't
little bit
enter the
about.
barn.
Tell us more about the Bashoba. What does that entail and what does that mean for the lay person, the young
The
man in the
barn,
street who doesn't know?
the barn is a holy place.
Okay.
You're going to make sacrifices with the produce that is taken from that barn. Everything about that barn is shrouded in cleanliness, tidiness, respect, and even reverence.
Okay.
So you lock it and say, we have been getting and putting in the barn in terms of what you put. Remember that there are some old yams, there may be old yams that are still there, which you're taking also to eat, the old
Yeah.
ones that you didn't plant. Yes. But at that point now, you lock this barn.
And their ceremonies towards locking of the ban.
Beyond you just normal prayers and to say,
Okay.
God, this is for you. We are preparing. Give us a
Yes.
contrite heart. Make this work for us. We have
Yes.
started the journey, right? Also keep us alive so hunger won't kill us before we finish.
I remember one old man in our place before, like this lockdown you talk about. He will go retrieve. He will announce to the wife or the family, all of you get all the yams you want from the band,
Exactly.
anything that is for you,
Exactly.
because at this point they are closing it down. But I never remember what period of time between locking it down and then the Iriji day.
It's also this August, and usually the 2 weeks, usually the 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks.
Yes, this August. Once you enter August 1st of August, all these things happen.
So on the day
So
of Iriji, take us through that a little bit.
So you
Please.
unlock the barn in the early morning. Well, first of all, by 5 a.m. in the morning, in all the communities, there are cannon shots, 5 cannon shots in every community at 5 a.m. in the morning. All right. So it is our wish that every hour this time can do that. 5 cannon shots. Now, if you're a neighbor,
Why five?
Mbaise, we're doing it together. In unison is completeness, yes. For us, Mbaise, 5 is a complete number, yes. So Abazuoli, Gebara, Abaja Bara, Okovro Bara, Ayana Bara, Krauske Bara, isn't it? Izo.
I see.
Yes. 5 a.m. Ndi Ezeji are asked, we are charged to arrange for it, what in our localities, wherever we are.
Okay.
Ideally, he when you go maka ndị dị ahụ echefuole anyị echere ha mgbe ụwa obodo ọbụla ji eme ka ha every village ji agba ka ha as it were today, we advise every hour the idea is that all our neighbors ndị na-agafeghị agafeghị ndị bịara abịa na Mbaise yeru 5 o'clock ya na-ahịọ
and they will know that Mbaise
everybody will now know something strong is happening because you're hearing this kind of shots coming from all directions. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 all over. The air is shaking. Something big is happening. It's an introduction to something massive.
It sounds exciting. Yes.
Yes, that's how it is.
So I remember my grandmother telling us stories. My grandmother used to tell us stories of days before any Iriji. They will decorate the houses, and I wrote about that some other, recalling what she used to tell us. Nnedodo, We'll talk about
Yes,
Ideuri na Olo, you know,
exactly.
Apachama and all
Because
that in
we are
preparation
supposed
for
to
that.
have visitors. People are going to come. So I get mother. I got butcher shama. It's part of what you do in that 2 weeks. And you have to
Yes.
be clean outside and inside. I got butcher shama. Keep everywhere clean. Onwe ebe ndị ụzọ mebiri emebi ekuru aja na ihe mechicha ya maka ndị mmadụ ga-agagharị. Yes, this is what it's supposed to be. So when you say
Okay.
festive, what do you mean by festive? You know, so really, it's I wish that people can be fully educated and everybody can fully participate in all of this, because all of this is
I think it's the communication
Mm,
and information
mm,
because MB said that I know they love fun. They like to have fun. But I don't think, especially the young ones, are brought into. And this is why I do what I do. Because when we sometimes say, oh, am I here? They are not learning Omenala. We, the adults, the elders, their parents, are not teaching them. Some of the things I'm hearing from you now, some of them is what I heard from my parents, but it's not being done again every day. So it's lost somewhere. So
yeah,
hopefully this it will get back into people's ears to help the young ones um, understand that we have such a festival, such a good thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly,
Now the
exactly.
question I have for
So
you is what is the difference between Ahiajoku and Iriji, or are they synonymously used as terms for New Yam Festival?
Iriji wa Ahiajoku. It's
Oh, yeah.
this is when Iriji wa Ahiajoku. You
Okay.
know, Ahiajoku is Yahweh Ahiajoku, the
Okay.
Lord of the bountiful harvest. So
Okay.
what is a covenant with God, with Ahiajoku, Yahweh Ahiajoku, where we are making offerings to Yahweh Ahiajoku. So that is the Iriji. That is the Ahiajoku. That one major at
Mhm.
on August no total. But when they can age in homes and all those things thereafter, that one is
Yes.
not the Ahiajoku. Those are also symbolic. Those are
Okay.
also for respect. Is also good, and also brings it home to many who may not have been able to come to the center to see what is going on. It brings it home. All right.
So
Uh,
that brings me to the next point that I have. We have
mm,
seen how Ndi Ezeji, the Yam laws, they are in charge of the ritual aspect and all that. There are other
so
titled people within the community, Ndi Eze, Ndi Ozo, Ndi Nze, and all that. Who plays a part and what do they have to do towards the success? And now we have Mbaise who governs, it's a governing body for Mbaise. Where do they all work together and where do they all diverge their roles, if
okay.
any?
The reality is that this is for us. Oh, first of all, Iriji is Jimbise. It
Okay,
belongs to everybody. It's
okay,
not uh, it's not Jinde Ezeji, it's
okay,
Jimbise.
okay,
All right. So let that be understood. Now,
okay.
but being Jimbise, we have a statutory role that is bestowed upon us to play
Hmm.
to actualize that Jimbise.
There's
There
a,
are yes, which is that central warranding Biseji Goron fund,
Mhm.
where that is the priesthood, that is the anointing in us by virtue of Ekwaji. That
Mhm.
is the anointing in us, yes. So it's like a priest celebrates mass. The prayer, the mass is for everybody. It's
Mhm.
not the mass doesn't belong to the priest, but it is the priest who will celebrate it for everybody.
Okay, okay,
So all I omenala mere Mbaise niile. Now there is a pomp and pageantry that can go around it. Sometime, and I think about 1981, some of our brothers wanted this thing to come out from a kangaroo where it's still like hidden, which we welcomed. And that's how we started this going to local government headquarters and rotating between local governments. That's how it started, which some
Mhm.
people even term the political aspect of Iriji, bringing it out. Now, in doing it, you're also inviting friends and well wishers and everybody to say, okay, come and witness this central thing, which means you have to now organize well to receive those people. You have to
Okay.
make it tidy, you have to make it top notch, you have to make it. And some people are of the opinion that leaving it to Ndi Ezeji will overwhelm Ndi Ezeji because we are faced with the ritual. Now we
Yeah.
have to sit down and start worrying how to receive senators, ministers, and all that, which truly, I tell you, is not the preserve of Ndi Ezeji. Neither is it even the wish of Ndi Ezeji to focus on that.
Okay.
However, we have also found over the years that some people, in fact, virtually everybody else, minus Ndi Ezeji, has sinned in trying to let the ceremony and pageantry overshadow the ritual.
I see.
It's sacrilegious. Yes,
Yeah.
that is the concern of Ndi Ezeji.
Okay.
It's like your wedding in the church. There is a ritual of the wedding that happens in the church. There is also the ceremony all around it, the
Okay.
videos, the you don't twist that church activity ritual to suit the ceremony now that you want to accompany the wedding with.
I see.
Good.
I see.
So when that happens, people now get very, that's why you see laws, the church making laws. You don't wear this kind of thing when you're coming to the church. You don't, for a wedding, either this choir must sing, that all those kind of things. The reason is that people will forget what they came for and begin to do other things. And you
So
have killed the ceremony.
it seems there was a little bit of that because some of us, I think I've written about festivals all over the place, and then coming to mind, some of the young ones, because what happens is that whenever we have such things happening in Mbaise, I announce it so that the young ones, wherever they can go. But then when I whet their appetites, they started asking, when is this happening? Is it happening? Nobody's talking about it. So some people on the platforms where I am, I keep asking those questions. And then that's where all these were coming up. But the other day, you guys, we had a picture of all the titled people including the Rezu body saying you guys have reached a compromise. So I am really happy for that. Can you
Yeah.
share with us a little bit about what the compromise is?
Yeah, so like we said, the Indians age, we are concerned about the ritual. We are concerned about the yamban and getting the timing of everything right. We're concerned about the waji. We have seen where they prepared Ebaga waji somewhere like down. There's a stage where musicians are. Then the Ngana waji will now be one little kiosk down. You see that? So you've taken the center of attraction from the G in our to musicians up. You see that kind
So
of
that is
sacrilege.
resolved. That aspect is resolved.
So what I'm saying is that people, if you don't know about yam and what you're doing, you're not in the position to sit at the helm of organizing that ceremony because you will make those mistakes. So we say that Ndi Ezeji must sit at the helm of organizing so that we don't commit any sacrilege in the course of our sacrifice. That is the position of Ndi Ezeji. Everybody else is welcome.
Shouldn't the SAG had pushed this months before? Why they know it's a ritual that is important? Why do they wait to the last minute? We have just a month to. I mean, that's past now, but hoping in the future we don't wait. We start immediately
let me
after
say,
the. Yeah.
Yes. I think while Ndi Ezeji felt they were approaching it with some level of sincerity, I think some others may have had other ideas of both on this. But I think that I pray this will be the last year anybody, both on our side and anybody else side, will make the mistake. Because
good. I'm glad to hear that. We move forward from that. Yes.
Things are made a bit clearer in the sense that, listen, there are aspects of this ceremony that nobody else, there are aspects of this ceremony that you can't even discuss, and then you can't compromise. Yes. So we got it. So this year we resolved, since let's just combine and harmonize. And
wonderful.
Owing to the fact that certain messages and letters had already gone out, and not to shake things up too much, what we did was to attach Ndi Ezeji as a second chairman, in the name of a co-chairman. To his role is to be there to make sure that we don't go out of line in any of the things you do. That happens to be myself this year. All right. So that's
Wonderful.
what it is. Yes.
There is nothing
So
wrong
that's
with Mbaise that Mbaiseans cannot fix. I always say that.
oh yes, you can be sure of that. Because at the
Yes.
end of the day, when you look at it, even politically, it's ourselves.
Yeah.
So you can't, anybody you embarrass is still ourselves, you
Yeah.
know. So I think we use applied wisdom to see that we could still sort our things out.
Good.
At the same
I'm
time,
glad to hear
we
that.
hope everybody is learning because it will not be nice for us to repeat these errors next
I
time.
hope not, because some of us are at the side waiting for. That's why we started writing. And one of the things I mentioned was that there's enough for
Yeah.
everybody to do. In festivals, we can
Yeah.
make money. Mbise can make huge money from festivals days before, not touching AG, and days after for the young ones to party. Because one of the things I notice is that we call everybody, invite every big heads from everywhere. We ourselves call our own big heads within. The young ones that are supposed to be handed over the baton, they're not in the picture. So they should be part of this planning at whatever age they are. And I hope you guys are thinking about that. Ndi have their
Well,
own, and they
my,
Ezu have their own. So that's my own little thinking.
yes. Well, it's what's the language to use now? Everybody has a responsibility. Just like you are trying to educate the children, we also must be trying to see that we educate all those around us.
Yes.
It's necessary. It's necessary. It's worthy. I think that's how I can say it.
Yes.
In my own case, if you are there at the meetings, I attend the meetings with my son,
You're
you
good.
know, and that's the way to go because that's also how I
Yes.
was raised. And if I can
Yes.
tell you many things today about Iriji, it is because of that exposure that
Yes.
uh, I can tell you many things about Iriji because as you go, you learn. And
And I
that's
hope in the
what,
future they will make such, put some Zoom. We have Zoom nowadays or whatever, so that those in diaspora can also. Ihe ndị niile na-anụ ndị nọ
oh,
n'ụlọ ọkụ n'obi, jikwa anụ
that
ndị
means
dị
you've really
outside.
been missing, that means you've really been missing the action because
Yeah.
for the past, since the COVID year of 2020, Iriji has been on Zoom every year.
No, not the ERG itself. The preparation for it. I mean, we all
Okay,
tune in. We all
okay. Some
tune
of the,
into ERG. Believe me,
oh,
we are
okay,
all tuned in. But like you said,
okay,
you took your son there. But those of us who are concerned, and I'm the little concerned one. There are people who don't speak out like I do, who really want the progress of Mbaise. And one of the things Ejiri Maranyi with Mbaise, which goes with our Bibo and everything. And we are really proud of that. And other people want to know.
okay,
So I'm
okay.
glad you guys have come together.
You,
Mhm.
you just touched on another thing. We've
Okay.
also, you see, I can see it even here. I mean, Amiibo Heji Marambise, and we are proud
Mhm.
of it.
Mhm.
Wonderful. It's when him be me with Abibo, you
Yes.
know. But it's also important that I let you know that Yam has his own music. Nkwaji,
Oh, okay.
yes. And from last year, in fact, let me tell you, my discovery last year or from 2 years ago was that Nkwaji itself was also dying. And when him was an
Which one
AJ,
is Nkwaji? What is it officially called? Oh,
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 Nkwaji, that's the official name. That's
oh,
Nkwaji. Nkwaji, oh, that's what it is.
that's
You
what
know?
it. I've never heard that before. They will Nkwaji.
Yes. So you see, these are the things, but irrigation for these are the things we are trying to make sure they don't. These are the little sacrileges we try to make sure they don't happen. And when he was on age, you know.
We
Now
write
some of
it
the
down.
people,
We write it down and know. Oh, when they gala bakwa nkwane. When they gala modakwari.
I say last year, what we did was to bring the entire Nkwaji Nambise and brought them out. All of
Wonderful.
it happened. Yes, we brought them out because we want to make sure that we don't this thing doesn't die in our hands.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we brought out all of them. Kwaji. I did that deliberately last year. Brought out every Kwaji that was still in Mbaise to give it an opportunity for them to participate, and that happened. Sadly, though, the entire Kwaji from Mbaise is less than 16 people in the entire Mbaise.
And
So you
what are
can
they
see that.
doing? Are they like one of the things I'm like about Abibo, I see the younger ones learning from the older ones. Here can Kwaji. Why can't they recruit the younger ones? Because I know some of them want to learn this thing. And again, this is where to me Ezrezu comes in to document. There has to be documentaries of one and for the next generation.
You're right.
I don't know
And
what
that's
else to
why,
say.
yes, you're right. And that's why some of us want to help to Israel to be properly guided and focus on the most important things,
Yes.
so that we don't chase shadows and lose the most important things.
Yes.
Israel can and should play a role in
Yes.
preserving this all important culture of everything culture in
Yes.
make their own contribution to it and look beyond just raising money out of it, but preserve it. But you can't preserve what you don't know. So the first
There
thing
you
they
go.
do is to empower those who are in charge, which is why anybody who loves Mbaise must empower Ndi Ezeji. You must empower Ndi Okonko. You must empower Ndi Ezeji. You must empower. These are all the things that Mbaise is known for. So you must empower all of those because you can't become what they are except you are part of them. So you empower them, and when you do that, they are now able to help to bring everything back. The Mbari culture, nobody's talking about it again. This was
I
very,
agree with you totally. And this is why
so,
some people
so,
think, oh, I don't have all the time in the world. But this going into YouTube now, it's bound to somebody in the next 1 year, 10 years could fetch it and say, oh, Ezeji Kachi Nwoga talked about this. And where do we start looking at that? The other day, I talked with Professor Chinwe Obaji, who was the first female education minister, about her own thoughts on education. And today, what we could put together. And she gave some history. The reason why some of us do this is not that because we have all the time in the world, because I wish some of these were there for us. And that's why we do a lot of research to see what is out there that we don't know. So I really thank you for making this time because I want to get by I know with IT in between. It's been like how many hours I know. But I am glad we are here now. And I encourage people we can make money from this, but it could be built around that. His Excellency Ihedioha win the election. The youths had parties, the independents had set up stuff that they made their own money from, but they brought people to Mbise at least to buy from the local shopkeepers around there. This is what we all collectively should be thinking about. Why, while the SAGs are thinking about the ritual part, Ndi are thinking about, they are the heads now, bringing other people to make them understand we have such a festival going on. There's so much that we can do and leverage from this. Do you have any
yes,
other thoughts that you want to
yeah,
share with us about Mbaise,
I
please?
can talk for the next 1 week about Mbaise
No,
truly.
don't.
So
I don't
what,
have that
what
much time. I don't have
because
that
it's
much
not something I can finish even in 10 sessions. Believe me, there's so
I
much,
know.
there's so
I
much, there's so
know.
many aspects. I've been trying to be concise because I know we're dealing with something. I mean,
Well, we
whatever
can make
amount
a
of time
part
we spend
three.
producing
This
it,
is
so,
important. We can make a part three of it
yes,
if we
yes,
still have a while.
we'll come to that. But um yeah, but what is important is for us to know is that there is a spirit behind Iriji, which is a spirit of peace, unity, reconciliation, gratitude to God.
Yeah.
Gratitude to God. So let's never lose the essence of that in all the pomp and pageantry, in all the fun, and even in the politics we wish to play. Let's not lose the sight of that. That's
Yeah.
why Ani Iriji now, Ndi Eze ordinala, they are the ones, the interrelations, then be same way with certain communities. You know, there are many communities that are related to Ndembise across Manangwa, Manambitolu, Manangopala.
Really?
Even some don't even intermarry with some of our own communities because they are the same blood. Yes. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I mean, this is what we want to know. Our children are now
Good.
marrying from
Now,
every corner. Did they know this?
no, they need to know this. There are places, but anyway, by the time you get to that place, this
Can you
this will
mention
happen.
some of these? Can you mention some of these places if you know? That's a few.
There are places. There is the Isn't of Mbitolu.
Isn't
There
it
are
of
portions that
Mbitolu?
yes,
Okay.
isn't it of Mbitolu? Yes, they
That is
related to
Obizi,
some of our own
Obizi of
isn't it?
Obo. What about
Sorry?
Obizi of Obo?
The Kobo, yes, Obizi. I'm not exactly aware of Obizi of Obo, but I'm aware of Bonkume.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So I think let me not hazard. Now in Ngwa, we have a lot of them in Ngwa. We have a lot of them in Ngwa. You know,
Oh, wow.
we have a lot of them, yes, in Ngwa that are there. Pockets, families, kindreds, and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, even Ibeku has their own, with also part of Umai and all that. Part of the Ibeku.
Really?
Yes. So there are. So we have this. It is their role to maintain these relations, and yes, and make sure those people also come for Iriji. If you realize when a mother was being buried, when his body landed at the airport, it was deliberate, yes. And in fact, this Mbise was saying, don't cross here without putting here because Unu Shinga Kawebe.
Yes.
Yes. So all that. So Iriji is a time that will reconnect also with all our kit and kin in all those places where they are.
Okay.
Yes. You
know. What do you think the role of women?
That is the role of Ndi now, to ensure that those people are reached, that they come, and to tell whoever the organizers in to prepare and host them properly.
Okay.
Yes. So and that's why ordinarily, which unfortunately we don't observe well, is that we have always prescribed, say, every day that day from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, there's a baregu with their communities. We suggest every community should hold a banner that says this community of XYZ. Okay. You know, you can even put the name of Yesterday there, led by His Royal Highness, that. You know, here we as a banner, only as a prony, here we banner, sorry, the community, sorry, baregu do but young, and I'm not on yes, and if there's any such community, yana the Buddha have a relation with yes.
Wow.
So
that would be exciting.
These are all the things. So I tell you, it's endless. If I keep telling you, there are so many aspects of it. Now,
so the women, I was asking
the political organ of Mbaise is what are they supposed to do? Israel is supposed to bring in. Now, by the way, Mbaise in I think it is in 19 let me remember this date. I think it was in 2012 that the Minister for Culture was brought in. And I can tell you, so many thanks to His Excellency Emeka Hedera, you know, he came to Iriji Mbaise and pronounced Iriji Mbaise as a national cultural festival.
Yeah.
A desk office was created in the Ministry of Culture. That became So there are only two national cultural festivals in Imo State: the Ikeji Aro and Iri Mbaise. Ikeji
But
Aro was because
let me share with you that Ikejaro is not even in the map, on the map of the whole of Nigeria as a
UNESCO cultural
festival.
map. Yes, Ikeji Aro is not there because it's a small community event. It became a national culture because a son of Aaron Dizogo was Minister of Culture, and he elevated that. So they were
Because we don't have
beneficiaries.
any. I did on cultures, on festivals and all that. All of that, the West and the North. The Igbo land that has, the only thing that could come closer would be Mbaise, Iriji, but they didn't even mention where. There's Iriji, but it's not like, shining out there
No,
like
no,
Arugungu
I can,
Festival
I
and the
can,
rest of them.
yes, I can tell you for free that Iri Mbaise is the biggest cultural festival in Igboland. There is
We have to
no,
push it up in the
is the
map.
biggest natural cultural festival. Let me explain to you.
Yes.
There is the Mao Festival, which was created by government of Enugu State. Right? It's not a natural festival belonging to anybody. It's a political creation. Good. Now, in natural festivals, Iri is the ultimate. In fact, there is nothing that comes even close. This is a festival that is owned by 3 local governments, 94 autonomous communities. There is no such thing.
I agree
anywhere.
with you, but in the national map, it comes up as Iriji for the Igboland, for the southeast Nigeria. That's what it's called. Not even Anambra, not Imo, not anywhere has that one single. And this is why I started asking, why can't we push Mbaise, Iriji to the top? Because we have all the whistles and everything about it, since no other person is doing anything. And this is where I'm coming from. I did a research on that.
Well, yes. So what I'm telling you is that that is already 80 or more % done.
Yes.
By that pronouncement by the Minister of Culture. Now it requires some of our own personnel to go and actualize it by activating that desk office. The desk officer was created for this series in that ministry.
Yes.
Up to 2 years ago, I made effort to get to that desk officer and even got the contact of that desk officer up to 2 years ago. There was still that desk was still active, yes. So, but we need our people to go and follow it up. It's officially, and then and what it offers you is an opportunity to be in the budget of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which means every year you will be provided for in the budget, as a national, just the same way Arugungu Festival is provided for in the Nigeria's budget.
Oro Festival
because it's a national cultural festival.
Yes.
So rather than sit here to fight locally, I think this is where we can actually show our prowess. And I encourage all who, encourage Ndekanye to please make this happen.
It could happen. It could happen. Yes, we can. I believe in that. And again, I go back and you've said really great. Other festivals like 2 or 3 days, it doesn't have to be one day. We could build around that. And that's where I think I hear from you that Ezurezu can play a part in that.
In fact, we expect Ezurezu to cash in on this.
Yes.
And build many events around that period, as the case may be. But please, Iri Mbaise of 15th has a ritual and should not be interfered with in a manner that will in any way subjugate that ritual to anything else.
It shouldn't.
That's what I said.
It shouldn't.
So this is where Ndi Ezeji, feel very concerned about, and we ought to feel concerned about, because if we don't do that, all of us will be looking for this ceremony in a few years to come with the tendency we have seen. because we're in the age and season of everything is politics, and there is nothing that is not open to abuse in the
Let me ask you. Let me
in
ask you
there.
this: What if
Yes.
Ezeji finishes its ritual at a particular time? You give the time that the rituals are done. Like we talked about, you said 5 a.m. Then we have the 12 noon entering on into the band, and whatever the ritual is after.
Wafadaji,
Till well for that jibaji
go for
till a
waji.
certain time. Okay, say till 3
Yes.
o'clock, 4 o'clock. Ndi Ezeji are done with their thing,
We're
and
even
then
we
the
must,
rest.
whatever it is, we must finish our own end by 2 o'clock at the worst.
Oh, there you
Whatever it
go.
is we do.
There you
Yes,
go.
it's already in our statutes. It's already in our statutes, because
Okay.
stretching it means we are tempting people to start eating the yam without fulfilling the
Exactly.
obligation. So we
I
don't,
see.
and if we do it, God will hold us responsible, because the people have
No, but I
waited
think
and
you,
it's no
you
longer
said
their
it.
fault.
You
Yes.
clarified
So
that, but sometimes I'm confused as to all the governors and the deputies and every dog and every man and every servant and chief coming from everywhere because it is their way of showing their political clout of here I am. Maybe Mbise is being used for that, but I also see that they don't have any other avenue anywhere else to show that. But if we organize it very well, they owe us. We could get from them what they are not giving to us as an entity, but we're not there yet. Maybe we are beginning to open our eyes.
well, I do believe that if any organ in NBC, especially the political organ, wishes to get more out of Iriji, they I think the common sense thing to do is to sit with Ndi Ezeji and ask and say, how do we do? We want to achieve XYZ. How do we do that? I think that is a common sense thing to do, and those doors remain open all the time. You
And
know,
will Ndezeji listen to them? I say I play both sides. Will
we
Ndezeji
will even,
listen? I'm not saying okay, leave everything to us because of course they cannot do everything themselves, right?
I think I'll make it very clear. NSAJ have never wanted everything left to them. No,
Okay.
we've never. And I think we have, even in writing, even said we expect people to do XYZ, expect people to do XYZ. Even in the writing, there are things we have, even without any discussion, we have said you're in the best position to do this or that or that. And that doesn't alter the ritual. The problem is when people want to take over an event they don't even understand what it's about. An event that left to them, they will do it in a way that will even bring cost upon them. And we can't allow
No, we
that
don't
to
want
happen.
that. We-
You know,
I,
so
I
that is because it's
I
dangerous
don't want
enough.
that one. So,
You know,
so I'm
yes.
asking you also. I mean, sometimes women come into this and they quell the fire or whatever. What role do you see the women playing in Ahiajoku, if any? Or is that one of those cultural things that the women are hands off?
No, remember that is a day of feasting and merrymaking. Who owns the kitchen? At every region, for instance, for years now, we have the Mbaise kitchen. Mbaise kitchen is entirely a women affair. Entirely a
Okay.
women affair. Now,
Okay.
Mbaise kitchen is not just to feed people who are hungry. It's an opportunity to display all the rich cuisines of Mbaise.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, for those of us who sample cuisines left, right, and center, Mbaise, nobody cooks like Mbaise women. I can tell you that, not because I'm from Mbaise. Maybe that
No.
biases me too, but then I can tell you nobody prepares the things we do prepare. You see, when you come to Mbaise kitchen, the way energy, all those things
How far I know for
anywhere
woman.
else.
We're offended
Of
you
course,
when
a
you say
woman.
that.
I'm putting my
Yeah.
so these are the things we are talking. So you can see that there is a role for everybody in
Yeah.
this. Yes, and it's entirely a women affair. You don't Mbaise kitchen is entirely a women affair. It's not. Do you understand? So
I
so
do. I
so
do.
so there is. So as we bring out these yams, who do we give it to prepare? It's the women that we give the yams to when we bring them out. You know,
So
and
two
the
more
way
questions for you.
last year or 2 years,
Yes.
so you will see every manner of and again, it's also a display. I hope you know that is a
Then
display
it
of
has to be
agriculture.
documented. We got it because someone like what is typical. In fact, one of the young ones asked me the other time, Auntie, what is a typical Mbaise dish? I went back to my list that I was compiling, to see oswaka na ebrebe japo japo what they were my grandmother used to.
Yes.
All those things are gone.
Agrajapo.
So all those things are no longer there, but they are typical dishes.
But these are the things that are in Mbise kitchen. That's
They
why
are.
they are in Mbise kitchen. That's why you have to be there. Yes, it's good to see on Zoom as much as you can, but
Yeah.
if you're there are portions of it that you can't really put on Zoom. You can't come and have a
No,
taste
but
of
I'm
those things.
glad. I don't have to be there, but I'm glad it's happening. Now, one more two questions for you. One, where do you see the role of the young ones, the young adults,
Okay, now
those that are
if you
not
come
in
to
the
Mbise,
title?
there's Emremba Neja the
Okay.
final Sojabia na Iliji. Enwere
Okay.
that's what I say wrestling, right? They do the finals
Yes.
coming. We have
Yeah.
the same Nations Football League. The finals is
Okay.
played on the weekend before the Iriji, and the cup,
Okay.
the trophy is given out at Iriji.
Okay.
Now, for those who have money and to organize, if there were funds and real sponsors, which is where again I expect our political organ to show up with real sponsors.
Yes.
If we have real sponsorship, we can have both the proper lectures in Jimbise lectures. We can have the Jimbise dinner, and we can have the Jimbise
Yes.
show at night where we
Yes.
bring musicians. By the way, let me
Yes.
explain something. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
In the creative industry, Mbise is ranking #1 in Nigeria.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
we have some of the best features writers in this country.
Yes.
We have the best Nollywood actors and actresses in this country.
Yes.
We have the
Yes.
best MCs in this country.
Yes.
So in the creative arts, we are ranking #1. This is it. We need to use this opportunity of Iriji to also showcase this sense to the world. So it's all about, there's a lot to organize, there's a lot to do. Again, like I said, we have people now, because people struggle for things when they have not seen what to do. So the little one that
Exactly.
shows up, they start fighting for it.
And
But
that's why
if they are
we are
creative and
pushing this
understand
envelope.
what to do, there's too much to do to fight for anything.
Imana, I hear one of the younger ones who drew the other day when we were just having a talk, Umechra school, that's Manti. They were talking about, colleagues, about Oriental Brothers songs. How now they play them in their parties, just like you play the video. And now they have different dancing steps to them. Yes, Auntie, why couldn't we even have warriors songs, a warrior tribute? I do a tribute to warrior. That is a big one. See, and now the ball is in your court, guys. Organize it. I can see such a thing being something that could happen on Jimbise Day, where it's warriors, all songs, all set up and all that. All one from Bise, who is world renowned, and it's slipping through our fingers just like that. Again, that's that one. The last question I have for you then. Well, I think there was a year it was a military everywhere, people drawing guns and everywhere. What are you guys doing now to make sure that does, because people then went back in instead of coming out to enjoy they all now are hiding from fear of because one big politician. When did we infuse a lot of politics into our religion? I don't know if you can answer that.
Well, again, you see, these are the issues that I when I say these things, I wish our people will understand where I'm coming from. These are the things that when you see this age is saying, back off. This is actually this is the back off that we're talking about. All right. What happened? Some people wanted to hold a chieftaincy title at Iriji. Or they have Froga. Do you understand? Or you have Froga. Now, it's sacrilegious now to do such a thing, because when you are holding a chieftaincy title, it means you have become the center of attraction. It means that we didn't come to offer prayers and sacrifice to our God. It means we came to see you. You get the point?
Yes. Yes.
So truly, that cannot. That is not. That's not what we came to do. We didn't come to see any one person. We came
I agree.
to make our prayers. Yes. So these actually these are the issues. That is the reality of. Now these are the issues, and
well, I think we've exhausted some part of it.
But I will say this again. I'll say this again. Yes. I'm proud of the role Ndi Ezeji have played in all of this. Ndi Ezeji, even at that time, I am bakwara the arena. I am bakwara nkwanya. I am bakwara janya. I am bakisho banya. We rekwe janya. Lakwa. Ya wuru ha no hanga ha mezie after that. Ke ha gbasa ha anya menyo menana kanya. Wara Mbaise.
By the way, mkpa unu aja manya makamu na dad. Uno gide mo gada. Okwa ngwalage. Uno Ndi Ezeji uno gide mo organize igba uno.
Okay, thank you. We hear you. We'll reflect that.
We would like that. I particularly, I'd like to show the video because that intrigues people. They're like, what is that procession for? Especially, I want a non-American, a non-Nigerian or African who really takes delight in anything here. And I jump question about how you guys really go in there with the grace and the ure unuja gaga. It's really something to see. Umuaka like it, Ndoki like it, everything. So Onojishike in their tradition. And on that note, I know, you grew 1 hour, but between part 1 and part 2, I had only 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
My podcast hosts give away this time around, but I think it's for a good cause. You've said a lot that many people don't know, and I'm hoping that people will be able to listen to this. And the good thing about this podcast, you can stop and go. You don't have to finish it at the same time. You've given us a whole lot of school for thought, food for thought, sorry, and a whole lot of knowledge about G. And I hope everybody will put their hands together. Again, this is where I call also on our diaspora Mbaiseans. Whatever we do, I think they have started, they obey that big one that nothing is done before the 15th. But they are all doing, and most of the proceeds they do in their fundraising aspects come back home because they use it to try to help home. Some people push them away, saying, they are part and parcel of Mbaise home. So whatever they can do also should be extended to them. Some of them who are Ezeji out here that are not home, but it doesn't mean that they've forgotten their own cultures. So I thank you immensely for making the time. And this is my own wish for Monu Mandez and Mandez Rezu, for the sake of our ancestors and for all Mbaiseans. Let it be a huge success. And the ancestors who are spending your time to make sure that Ahiajoku is not forgotten. Thank you so much for coming to my podcast. And for everybody who is going to listen to this, If you have any questions, please let us know, because we'll be glad to send some of these questions back to Dr. Kachi and other Ndi Ezeji. And I'm hoping that your template and everything works out for everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, if for those who want to send in questions and all that, they can send it to jimbise@gmail.com. It's very easy. Jimbise
Jimby said,
just yes, all lowercase. Jimbise. No
at,
hyphen, nothing. Just Jimbise.
at,
Jimbise. Jimbise.
okay,
At
Gmail.
gmail.com. Yes, and send
Okay.
that, and then we'll happily answer questions and everything. And they can send it through you too. Please feel free to send, and then we'll be happy to answer. And I'm looking forward because Ndi Ezeji anyị ehighị nne na Mbaise
That is,
anyị
I didn't want to
lachada
put that
ama m
here.
ndị ga-emere Mbaise omenala.
I didn't want to put it here because it would take a whole lot. Because the question is, how do you become an? Because there's a controversy in that.
Maybe we can do another session on that.
And then Tia Wahene Kwaji. There are so many people there who inherited that and all that. But some people are saying, no,
you don't inherit Ezeji.
Okay, let's not go into that.
Ezeji is an initiation. Now listen, it's not a conferred title, as in conferment of title.
No,
it's not chieftaincy. Your in is an initiation.
Yes.
So you'll be initiated into the society.
Yes, that is my but you again no, it's like which is a different aspect to it. But there's a controversy. It's not all
there's no controversy. It's a society. People are initiated, and we only make controversy, or when you make it from inside, when you make it from outside. You can't have a controversy from outside. We don't know what it is. Now, inside, we don't have any single control. We understand it very well, and there are principles to all of those things. It's not just.
You haven't had a controversy. Even
there is none. No, maybe there are people outside who are confused. So that's what you can hide. That their confusion doesn't amount to a controversy. It's a controversy if we have issues about anything. We don't have any issues whatsoever.
How about we schedule that for another time, and
yes, that would be nice.
What days? How do you become an agent?
It's not no problem. Give me honey, give the ajoga you give my saya.
Yeah, I know that some people who are younger, when they brought them there, and like you said, everybody initiation, when do whatever it is that in the Madugaji. But that's a topic for another day. We'll do that because
yes,
I need that clarified also.
And also give you some of the basis for it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And what guides
thank you so much. Thank
all
you.
Right.
So everybody, here we come to an end of another long episode. It wasn't going to be that way, but topics lend themselves to lengthy discussions and much more. And you know that this is one of those. Some of the information given out here today, especially surrounding Mbaise, hasn't been out there. And there's a reason for that. Maybe from now on, things are going to be clearer than they have been. And we have Dr. Ezeji, Dr. Kachi Nwoga, to thank for that. I'll see you again in the next episode. Please subscribe to my podcast. A whole lot of people, I see the movement. People are really warming up to, a lot of information out there on YouTube. And so you are all invited to that. So I thank you. And on behalf of NDISC, I thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kachi.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure being here.
TV. In the spirit of connecting all Africans,
I'm going to stop there.
This is a documentary of the Mbaise cultural group in Imo State, Nigeria.